Back for another day of filming. As usual, I'm dressed for the fashion show. We're going into our fortified blockhouse build. We started this project 11 months ago, so part 1 is back 11 months if you want to go back on the channel and have a look. And in part 1 we showed our foundation and I think how we squared up and leveled the first 4 logs, as well as our log coming across the driveway here from the first gatehouse that we built. Anyway, these projects are slow going. It's funny, my son pointed out to me there a couple weeks ago that these primitive skill channels on YouTube have been exposed as being a lot of bullshit. And I didn't realize that. I used to watch these guys that are, half naked in the jungle with hand tools, digging out underground pools and building complexes and stuff. And I thought, man, those guys must be hard workers to get all that stuff done. And as it turns out, they've got excavators and, crews of dozens of guys. And the entire premise behind it is a big lie. And yet these guys got like millions of viewers on their channels. So it's frustrating as old hell. The reality is when you're by yourself and you're working on projects like this, they go slow. And I've got a lot of other priorities and things to do here with the channel and with the acreage. And so 11 months have gone by since I started this blockhouse, and I'm just going back to it now. So here's looking down in the structure and our ditch that runs up and down the driveway here. This area over here, this is our ATV trail running through here. And I've already got a little culvert that runs in underneath that section. We're going to leave this section here open as a clear out, so that each year I can come in here and make sure that's clear, as well as the tube that we're about to install. Also, you can see running right here, we have a drain coming off the driveway, and that's to drain any excess water that gets pooling underneath this gravel in the driveway here, because that used to be a low area. So water's going to flow down from there into the drain, and so we can't put our metal tube past this point here. We're going to drop it in right now and run it up along this section here. Hopefully it's long enough to come up to the front log. Stops right there at the tube and right there at the front log. So that'll lay in there just perfect to carry water down. I don't need a really large drain tube diameter wise in this, because there's not a huge amount of water that comes down the driveway. Okay, step number 2, we're here at the back corner of our build, and this bank over here is all dirt. You don't want dirt to get down in around your log, or it's going to cause rot. And I've already put linseed oil on these logs, I believe last summer. I did that as one of my final things just to make sure they didn't rot. But now I'm going to put some metal in there in front of that. I might have to slide this rock out of here for now. There it is. Perfect. So now that there is going to protect the end of our log from ever rotting away. And then we'll put that rock back in there. That holds everything together, these 2 rocks, and holds this actually in place, that it doesn't roll anywhere. That's to keep the structure square over here. Next, we're going to put some old metal roofing that I have here on this side, because this here is all going to be backfilled at some point in time. We've got a dirt bank here, and when we backfill that, it'll protect these logs from ever rotting out. Our sheet metal's in place over here. We've got it jammed down as deep as we can go into the rock line over here of the foundation, and now we can backfill up against that. We've got 2 8-footers to go on next. You want to make sure that you get all of the bark off your logs, because even a small amount will start to cause rot. Now also I have to try to choose similar diameter pieces and then try to level them. Those aren't too bad. This one's a little bit larger than this one here, so if there's a high side on the structure, I would put the small log on the high side. as I build this structure up, I have to make sure that it goes right in line and level with the two beams that it's going to carry across the driveway here. So you can see the level on it, and the thin end needs to come up a little bit, but that's to be expected because it is the thin end. And so the next log we lay down, we put the fat end over that way, coming this way, and hopefully then, again, it straightens the structure out. Try to find the spot on the log where it wants to sit naturally. Line up your butt ends as best you can. Line up with the log underneath as best you can. I'll use the wire temporarily to hold each level in place. And then, like in our other build there, we're going to put some corner posts coming up, and that's what's going to line the outer end. And that's going to glue this all together. And there you can see we're looking pretty level. So those next two logs are going to work out well. The diameter of this one was larger than the end of the log coming across from the other gatehouse, so that when my next log goes on top, this will have a big enough gap to slide in between the two. And it's going to get fixed somewhere inside of this gatehouse. Here's our top log coming across, and so we need to build up to about here, 2 more logs on to get this to come across and sit nice and level into the structure. I'm going to end part 2 of our blockhouse build right here. We're running out of daylight, and I decided to make this, instead of 8 by 8, I'm going to go 12 by 8. And that's because the back side over there, where it's into a mound, it's already built up to grade to keep that running forward out to 12 feet. But it's going to take me some time now to haul some rock into place to build up the foundation underneath this side over here before I can continue. Might be a few weeks before we're back on to do part 3 of this. We'll look after the foundation issues, and then we'll keep building up from here. What I'm trying to show people are cheap ways that they could use the trees that are crowded, say in their forest, and anything that they're thinning and cutting out, broken tops, whatever it is. But if you're taking those softwood trees down, you may as well do something with them, and this is a way that for very cheap you can build the bones of a shed for your tools and things like that on your property. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, all that stuff. Cheers.